Do you believe that the best is yet to come for you? Because every season can be your best. It's just a different season. It's all about how you perceive it. Welcome to the Habit Stacking Mom Show, a place for stay-at-home moms desperately searching for balance while drowning in endless toys and coffee, stuck eating the crust from their kids' PB&J. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Perzel, wife, mama to 3 girls, and a habit stacking pro. I am dedicating this show to all the mothers that chose to pivot from their plan and instead change endless loads of laundry and diapers who may have lost themselves along the way. I know you're exhausted from working all day and accomplishing nothing at all. Let's restack your day so you can show up stronger for your family. Crush that to-do list, declutter your house and mind, boost your energy, and pick up where you left off before becoming a mother. It's time to pop in those ear pods, shake up your fizz, and let's get stacking. All right, everyone. Hope you're ready for a good one today. I just absolutely love talking about this topic, the 4 ways to truly find yourself again in motherhood. I think that every single mother can really put themselves in each other's shoes. We've all been there. And so before we start talking about this, I just want to take a second and thank my dearest friend, Ashley Pollock, for the inspiration for this topic. We go way back to middle school. And so I knew her way before we both became a mother. I knew her passions and who she was. And when I was doing some market research for this topic, she threw that out, that she struggles with finding herself again in motherhood. And it just kind of hit me because I thought, oh, yes, I can feel that pain on so many levels. And so I want to dedicate this call to her. 7 years ago this week, actually, which is kind of special, I'm launching this podcast. And it was literally 7 years ago on Friday. I was getting ready to leave the hospital, a complete hormonal basket case. The uncontrollable emotions were just literally flooding out of my body. I know you can relate as a mom. I'm frantically packing my bags, just trying to figure out what am I going to need to get access to while we're in the car driving 15 minutes home from the hospital, just sheer panic. And I saw diapers and pads in the hospital bathroom and I'm bawling that we forgot to put them in the bag. I just delivered a baby 48 hours before. I labored through the night and I finally delivered at 5:24 August 9th. My baby girl, Gabriella, was born. She's my very first baby. And that sleep deprivation was an unreal experience. How we actually have the power to deliver a baby and then wake up all night completely bruised and broken from delivery. It's like a whole different person shows up at the same time as that baby. There you are, a mother. That's all it takes is have a baby and you are now a mother. No one has you sign on a dotted line, send in your resume. Let's do a background check and credential check and make sure that you're okay. You're just given the role and you have 0 previous experience. I'm leaving this hospital room in that weird pregnancy wheelchair. I don't even know what you call them, but the ones where you're like, it's like a boat. You got your bags on the back and they send up what I feel like is the valet guy who's going to be pushing me down to this parking garage. And I have a baby who is less than 72 hours old. And I vividly remember seeing those hospital lights above me. I'm passing under them like woo, 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 one after another. And I keep thinking someone's going to stop me. Like they do know that I have a baby, right? Like they know I'm holding on to this little teeny tiny baby and I have no freaking clue what I'm supposed to do now. I'm just being wheeled down this hallway. The nurses look at me and smile like, oh, the sweet baby. And I'm like, is anybody concerned? Because I am. I am about to drive home from this hospital. I'm shaking uncontrollably. I'm literally crying hysterically. Like I just can't stop it, which now I know is, the hormonal exchange that happens after having a baby. I sit in the back seat with her And my husband, I'm like, slow down, watch which lane you're going in. The rest of the world is literally passing by me 90 miles an hour. And I think they don't know. They just don't know what just happened. I have a baby. And, we get home, I go and I sit on the couch and I'm sitting there and I'm freaking out because I'm like, what if I fall asleep? What if I can't get her to eat? What if I fall asleep holding her? I mean, I forget to eat myself because I'm so stressed and I can't get up because I'm broken from delivery, and there's nothing that prepares you for that. And it's just a rite of passage. Welcome to motherhood. You will never, ever worry about something else more than yourself for the rest of your life. This is now your identity. The impact that moment had on my life, I will never forget. It changed me in 1,000 ways. After grueling first weeks of having that infant at home, you kind of figure it out, right? You get that 2-week checkup and it looks like, well, she's growing. So you're like, well, I guess I'm getting the hang of it. It's literally a learn as you go type of job. And the problem is that we get so lost and off course and unaligned with everything our life resembled before that very moment. And you don't realize that as that moment happens, the baby's laid on your chest. You used to go out on the weekends, eating dinner after 8 o'clock. You get to places on time. That doesn't happen anymore. All of that changes in that split second when they place that baby right there. It's the most beautiful moment in the entire world. And yet there's this feeling of grief and loss after having a baby. And yes, we all know that there's postpartum and the hormones are flying all over the place. But I think that what we fail to discuss is that transition period into motherhood. There's actually a term called matrescence for it. We've heard of adolescence. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Matrescence. It's not even something that I've ever heard before, but it is literally that transitional period to becoming a mother. You find out you're pregnant and you think you've prepared for that baby to come. Your body's changing, your hormones change, your priorities definitely start shifting because you're already trying to figure out how they're going to fit into your life. And then the baby arrives and it's just like, it's go time. Whatever skills you have and you bring to the table, they're just supposed to be good enough. No one stops you and says, yeah, you're not quite ready yet. It's just you. You are solely responsible for the survival of another being. No wonder we slightly feel overwhelmed. Us mothers, we can't find ourselves anymore once becoming a mom. I can't even understand why that's a problem, right? All of a sudden, our lives dwindle in comparison. The relationships, careers, personal time, the passion. It's now just one new learning experience after another to add to your reference column to say, yep, I am getting experience as a mother. If only we have a chance to do it over again, but you don't. You get one shot at your child's life. So we give it everything we've got. Some of us sleep train. Some of us let them sleep with us as long as they want. Some change a diaper every time it gets a little teeny bit wet, and others of us use cloth, or we use organic milk or breastfeed or go straight to formula. We all have only one thing in common because we clearly parent differently, but we were all a woman before we had babies. We had ambitions, we had dreams and hopes. Maybe motherhood was your dream, but maybe it was something else. Who was she? What did she see in her life before she became a mom? Having children is a small season of children being highly dependent on you. When they're little, they can't fill their water bottles up themselves. They need you to feed them every meal, tell them what to be doing next in the day. There's just a small season. Even though we have children the rest of our lives and they are dependent on us, their need for our full engagement lessens over time. But we seem to lose ourselves in that season, especially if you don't realign with who that woman was, that you can suffer from really severe identity loss. You will never be able to go back to who you were before becoming a mother. But that's the beauty in it. You're so much stronger now. You just have to find the blend of the two worlds. Knowing who you were can really help you find who you are now as a mother. So I really think there are 4 things that you need to take the time to do if you find that you're struggling with finding yourself again. The first thing you need to do is allow yourself to grieve. Some of us, I truly believe we don't even realize that we're grieving, and it's sometimes 7 to 10 years later. Becoming a mother is such a blessing, but let's call it what it is. It's a tornado. It just happens. And you look up one day and you go, oh, where the heck did I go? Well, of course, you got overwhelmed with motherhood. And first and foremost, you need to grieve and say, are you okay with where you are in this moment of your life as a mother? First, you need to grieve, but know that you're in a different place, and you need to know that this is going to pass. So I think acknowledging and giving yourself credit with what you've had to go through to transition to this moment in your life, because you didn't just happen to come here at this moment. You have gone through so much to be able to find yourself at this point. So the second thing, what are your actual expectations? Because, we get lost in motherhood. We spend all this time caring for other littles, right? And then I think we get the expectation that something is supposed to come fix it. I don't know if we think a moment's going to happen and then all of a sudden it's just going to be better. You really have to stop expecting other people to make you whole again. You need to show up whole already and let the people around you just add to your life. Only you know what you really need. You're the only one that can show up and actually fix this problem. And anytime you're feeling like you're putting your expectations on your husband or your significant other to fix the problem, it's really important that you come back to those expectations that you're setting for the people around you, which leads me to the third thing. Journaling is so important. And whether you journal by pen to paper or if you type in a Google Doc, I'm a millennial, so I get you. However you feel you need to journal, do a voice memo to yourself, but pay attention to the things that you're saying out loud and the expectations that you're setting. And stop letting each day just pass you by one day after another. Because one thing I can promise you is your frustration is likely getting higher and higher and higher. We are much shorter tempered for the people in our lives. Our kids, our husbands, they don't deserve that from us. And I know that you've gone through a lot. I myself was there. I went through so many things that I had all the reasons in the world to justify my feelings. But at the end of the day, it wasn't getting me anywhere. So by paying attention to the things that I know I loved before becoming a mother, I would write that down. I would dream about that by paper to pen. I would literally use a pencil and write down the things that gave me excitement about what was coming in the next season, so that I had stuff to look forward to, that I knew this was going to pass. So the things that I enjoyed, I started to remember who I was. What did I feel the most alive doing? What were the things that I loved so much that I just felt alive? One of the things that me and my kids do, which I think is so much fun, is I love listening to loud music in my car. It's just something those of you that know me, I've loved music for a very, very long time. So we will play music so loud and sing in the car. It makes me feel alive. So even though I'm in the thick of it, it just gives me that burst of energy again. So write down those things that you start to remember who you were, what made you feel strong. Who did you spend your time with that you're not spending time with anymore? What did you spend your money on? Did you buy things that now you're holding back because you've got kids and responsibility? It's like, what were those things that you spent your money on? And what's one crazy thing that you would love to learn about and try to do right now? I think a lot of the times as moms, we keep waiting for something. It's not coming. Like, there's nothing you should be waiting on to start doing the things you enjoy. And I realize that some of us have, sitters or family around us that can help. But if you can spend some time journaling and making a plan and figuring out what are some things that I can do maybe with my kids that I enjoy. Like I just said, like listening to music loud and dancing like really lifts my soul back up. So I love doing that with my kids, and I don't need anybody else around me to do that with them. We just get wild and crazy and get down, and it's so much fun. And I feel better. So it's like a quick reset for my mind. And the other thing is, it's the fourth thing is your self-care. You have to stop ignoring your feelings. If you aren't taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually, then you just simply cannot take care of your family. I heard the story once of the coffee cup. If you have a coffee cup and it's filled with coffee and someone bumps you, you spill coffee, right? So if there's tea in your cup and the cup gets knocked over, guess what spills out? Tea, right? So what spills out of your cup depends on what you actually put in it. So if you are not filling yourself up mentally, physically, emotionally, then you don't have the good stuff to spill out on everybody else. You're not here by mistake. It wasn't an accident. So what can you do to get excited about that next chapter in your life? Do you believe that the best is yet to come for you? Because every season can be your best. It's just a different season. It's all about how you perceive it. So don't wish for things to be easier. Wish for you to be better, that you were made for great things. When I look back on the last decade of my life, man, the growing and having 3 children, I can tell you that it was not pretty. It was ugly. I ugly cried on way too many occasions to count. I can promise you that. But I can also promise you that this too shall pass. And grab onto the things that you can control. And remember that the key to finding yourself again is accepting that you are uniquely qualified to rediscover the new version of you. Mama, you deserve it. Those babies deserve it. And I am here for it. So I hope that you found some value in this and take some time to do those 4 things that I talked about. And I hope that next time we can dive even deeper into some of the ways that I do some of the self-care and the personal growth, and that you can just keep showing up here with me and continue to build into this stronger new version of you. You absolutely deserve it, and I am so excited to do this alongside of you. So I'll see you on the next episode.
Well, that's it for today.
If this episode encouraged you in any way, please consider thanking me by sharing it with another mama friend who's ready to show up stronger in her life, or leave me a review right here on the podcast. And don't forget to come hang out with me on Facebook inside my free community, or drop me a DM. I'd love to hear how habit stacking has changed your daily routine. I'll meet you back here real soon. Love and life, Jess.